Archangel Michael says, $55 million has been assigned to you at 9 p.m. Don't skip this message. Hear me, beloved one, be still. Breathe. Let the noise of the world soften, for this is not a message meant to rush you, frighten you, or bind you with urgency. This is a revelation, spoken in mystery, wrapped in light, and revealed in layers. I speak now not to alarm you, but to awaken you. I am the voice that was before the morning learned to shine. I am the presence that walks beside you when you believe you are alone. I am God, and I speak to you now. When you heard these words, something stirred within you. A quiet curiosity. A tug you could not name. That is not coincidence. Nothing that reaches you in spirit arrives by accident. The phrase you saw is not about numbers as the world counts them, nor about currency as humans define it. It is about measure. It is about assignment. It is about a transfer that cannot be carried in hands, but only in the heart, the mind, and the path set before you. Archangel Michael stands not as a banker of gold, but as a guardian of purpose. When my messenger speaks of $55 million, understand this as fullness multiplied, grace upon grace, strength doubled, wisdom expanded. 5 is the number of grace, doubled, it becomes confirmation. Millions speak not of coins, but of reach, of influence, of lives touched, of doors opened far beyond what you can see now. And the hour mentioned is not to trap you in fear of missing out, but to mark a moment of awareness, a crossing point between what was and what begins. I know how the world has taught you to doubt. I know how often you have been disappointed by promises that collapsed into silence. That is why I speak gently, even while I speak deeply. I do not manipulate. I do not deceive. I do not bind you with threats. I invite you. I reveal. I prepare. You have walked through seasons where your effort felt unseen. You questioned whether your prayers reached beyond the ceiling. You wondered if your patience mattered, if your integrity cost you too much. Hear me clearly now, nothing you endured was wasted. Every silent choice, every moment you chose kindness when bitterness was easier, every time you kept going while tired, these were seeds placed into unseen soil. The assignment spoken of is not dropped from the sky as spectacle. It unfolds. It activates. It aligns. You are being positioned, not rewarded like a lottery winner, but entrusted like a steward. What is coming into alignment in your life carries responsibility as well as blessing. That is why it comes wrapped in mystery, not noise. There are doors you will soon notice that once appeared sealed. Conversations will carry unusual clarity. Opportunities will feel strangely peaceful rather than frantic. This is how you will recognize what is of me. I do not shout through chaos, I confirm through peace. Do not misunderstand me. I am not telling you to expect a sudden deposit or to make reckless choices. I am telling you that capacity is expanding. Your ability to receive, to manage, to influence, to bless, this is what is being increased. The world measures wealth in figures, I measure it in faithfulness, wisdom, and reach. Michael stands at the threshold because you are crossing from preparation into activation. You asked, long ago, sometimes without words, why am I being shaped like this? Why do I see differently? Why do I feel responsible for more than myself? This is why. What you carry was never meant to remain small. Yet listen carefully, with expansion comes testing, not punishment, but refinement. You will be invited to choose depth over distraction, truth over appearance, patience over impulse. These choices will determine how fully you experience what has been assigned to you. I do not revoke gifts, but how they flow through you depends on alignment. Do not announce this season loudly to those who cannot honor it. Mystery is not secrecy born of fear, it is protection born of wisdom. Some will not understand the changes in you. Let them misunderstand. I am not asking you to prove anything. There will be moments when doubt whispers, this is too good to be true. Remember, I am not offering fantasy. I am revealing trajectory. You are not leaping into the unknown, you are stepping into what has been forming quietly for longer than you realize. When the message says, don't skip this, it does not mean fear missing out. It means be present. Pay attention. Do not numb yourself with noise. Do not rush past the subtle confirmations I place in your path. Reverence the ordinary moments, for they will carry extraordinary alignment, tonight, tomorrow, or in a moment that feels like an inner evening. When stillness settles, you may feel a shift. Not fireworks, but clarity. Not noise, but resolve. That is the hour being spoken of. The time when understanding clicks into place. When you realize you are no longer waiting, you are moving. I am not calling you to chase wealth. I am calling you to become ready for influence. I am not dangling reward, I am commissioning growth. The world will try to frame this in shallow terms. Let it. You know better now, remember this, abundance without wisdom collapses. But wisdom partnered with grace multiplies endlessly. That is why this message unfolds slowly, layer by layer, instead of ending quickly with spectacle. You are seen. You are known. You are being guided with precision, not haste. And what has been spoken is only the outer veil of what is being prepared within you. Stay attentive. Stay grounded. Stay humble. I am not finished speaking yet because there are layers still unopened, and timing matters in revelation. Beloved, understand this: silence is not absence. Many times you believed I was quiet because you expected thunder, yet I was shaping foundations beneath your feet. I do not rush my work, for what is rushed fractures under weight. What I build endures. That is why your life has felt like a slow unfolding rather than a sudden ascent. You were not delayed, you were being reinforced. You have noticed that certain desires have faded while others have intensified. This is not confusion, it is refinement. I am narrowing your focus so that what comes next does not scatter you. When the message spoke of an assignment, it pointed to alignment between who you are becoming and what will be entrusted to you. Assignment is not about position, it is about responsibility carried with clarity. You have been learning discernment in subtle ways. Learning when to speak and when to remain quiet. Learning when to act and when to wait. These lessons felt small, even frustrating, but they were rehearsals. The stage you are approaching requires steadiness, not impulse. That is why I allowed you to feel overlooked at times, so you would not build your identity on applause. Archangel Michael's presence is symbolic of protection over transition. Transitions can feel unsettling, even when they are good. The mind wants certainty before movement. But faith moves while clarity is still forming. I do not remove all questions before I ask you to walk. I strengthen you so questions do not stop you. There are systems in the world that reward noise, speed, and imitation. I am calling you away from that current. What is being formed around you will require authenticity. You will notice that shortcuts no longer appeal to you as they once did. This is a sign of maturity, not loss. What you are stepping into cannot be sustained by imitation, it must flow from truth. Do not fear the size of what is implied. Fear shrinks perception. When you feel overwhelmed by the idea of millions or impact, remember, I do not place the whole weight on you at once. I unfold responsibility in seasons. You will be given what you need for each step, not the entire map. Trust grows in movement, not in complete foresight. There will be people who suddenly recognize something in you they did not see before. Their change is not because you transformed overnight, but because the light you carry is becoming harder to ignore. Some will be drawn to it. Some will feel threatened by it. Respond to both with grace. You are not called to convince, only to remain aligned. I am also preparing you internally for stewardship. Stewardship is the ability to hold blessing without letting it harden your heart or cloud your judgment. Many pray for increase but resist the discipline that sustains it. You have been quietly learning discipline through repetition, through consistency, through choosing what is right even when no one noticed. This is why I can trust you with more. Do not confuse spiritual readiness with perfection. You are not required to be flawless. You are required to be willing. Willing to listen. Willing to adjust. Willing to release what no longer fits. I am not asking you to abandon joy or creativity. I am asking you to anchor them in purpose. The suspense you feel is intentional. Mystery awakens attention. If everything were explained at once, you would lose the reverence needed to carry it. Revelation unfolds as relationship deepens. This is why I speak to you not in bullet points, but in living words that breathe and stretch your understanding. There will be moments ahead when the old patterns try to resurface: doubt, comparison, impatience. When they do, do not panic. Simply recognize them as echoes, not authorities. You are not going backward, you are shedding layers. Growth often feels like uncertainty before it feels like strength. When the hour is referenced, when the message speaks of a specific time, it is pointing to awareness, not pressure. I do not trap my children with deadlines. I invite them into attentiveness. When you pause, when you reflect, when you choose presence over distraction, you align yourself with what is already moving toward you. Pay attention to what brings you peace without explanation. Pay attention to ideas that return even after you dismiss them. Pay attention to doors that open without force. These are indicators, not coincidences. I communicate through resonance as much as through words. There is also a cleansing taking place. You may feel less tolerance for environments that drain you. This is not arrogance, it is discernment. Protecting your inner world is not selfish, it is stewardship. What flows through you affects others more than you realize. I know you have asked, am I imagining this? Let me answer gently. Imagination is one of the ways humans perceive possibility. I often seed truth within imagination before it manifests in form. Do not dismiss what stirs you simply because it has not yet taken shape. You are not being elevated above others, you are being positioned to serve in ways that match your design. Comparison dissolves when purpose becomes clear. Your path will not look like anyone else's, and that is intentional. Uniformity is easy, uniqueness requires courage. As this unfolds, remain grounded in gratitude. Gratitude anchors expansion. It keeps your vision clear and your heart soft. Do not wait for everything to change before you give thanks. Acknowledge the small confirmations. They are markers along the path. There is more being revealed even now, beneath the surface of your awareness. You may feel tired at times. Not from effort, but from integration. Rest is not retreat, it is recalibration. Honor it without guilt. I am still speaking. I am still unfolding meaning. I am still preparing you to understand what has been hinted at, layer by layer, breath by breath. Do not rush to the ending. This message is not finished, and neither is what is being formed within you. And now, beloved, I bring this revelation to a gentle and intentional close, not because the work is finished, but because you are ready to carry what has been spoken. Understand this final truth. What you have received is not a prediction to cling to, but a calling to embody. The mystery was never meant to distract you from life, but to draw you deeper into it, with awareness, integrity, and courage. I do not plant expectations so that you wait idly. I plant vision so that you walk wisely. You will notice, in the days ahead, that your perception sharpens. Things you once tolerated will quietly fall away. Things you once feared will lose their hold. This is not dramatic change, it is rooted change. Growth that lasts often arrives without announcement. Do not underestimate the power of quiet alignment. Remember, nothing assigned to you comes without provision, but provision does not always look the way the mind anticipates. Sometimes it appears as insight at the right moment. Sometimes as the right person crossing your path. Sometimes as restraint that protects you from what would have delayed you. Trust my methods even when they differ from your expectations. If ever you feel tempted to chase signs instead of substance, return to stillness. I am not hidden in spectacle. I am found in clarity, in peace that does not need applause, in direction that feels firm even when the road is unfamiliar. Let your discernment be guided by peace, not pressure. What you carry forward from this message is not urgency, but intentionality. Not fear of missing out, but confidence in timing. Not obsession with outcome, but commitment to alignment. These are the true markers of readiness. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not overlooked. You are precisely where refinement meets readiness. And as you continue to walk, what was once veiled will become understandable, not all at once, but faithfully, step by step. Do not shrink yourself to remain comfortable. Do not harden yourself to remain protected. Stay open, stay grounded, stay true. I will guide you through expansion without losing yourself in it. Let this message rest within you, not as noise, but as quiet assurance. You do not need to replay it endlessly. What is meant to remain will remain. What is meant to activate will activate in its proper season. I have spoken to you in love, not manipulation, in truth, not illusion, in depth, not haste. And now I release you from suspense into trust. Go forward with clarity. Go forward with humility. Go forward with courage. Amen.